A very good afternoon. I'm Pari Natrajan, co-founder and CEO of Zinnov. We at Zinnov take great pride being the knowledge partner for the very first edition of Emerge 15 way back in 2009. And having been the knowledge partner for 7 out of the 11 past edition, we're extremely excited and proud to return for the 12th edition of Emerge 50 Awards. Over the next few minutes, I will present the landscape of the previous winners of Emerge 50, take you through the Emerge 50 Awards methodology, and with some trends observed in this year's winners. So let's start with the insights from the previous winners. Next slide, please. The past 11 editions have created a new benchmark for ecosystem awards. We have had 550 winners across 11 editions. 3 of the companies have grown to become unicorns, and Freshworks, Dhruva, and Razorpay are now industry role models, but they were just getting started when they were discovered through Emerge 50. When we started the first edition, there were hardly any acquisitions in the Indian technology product ecosystem. Now, 75 of the winners have been acquired, and close to 50% of the past Emerge winners have raised external funding to the tune of $2.6 billion. It's just not that. Over 94% of the Emerge 50 companies are still active. Even many of the companies who are not able to raise investment continues to be profitable and are solving important problems for their customers. Next slide, please. The 12th edition, the one that we are here to celebrate, has undoubtedly be the most competitive. The 2020 Emerge Awards call for applications across 10 different categories: retail tech, fintech, health tech, logistics and mobility, SaaS enterprise, cybersecurity, hardware IoT, Bharat, and strategic sectors. Each of the sectors were chosen for both their global relevance as well as national importance. We received 700 plus applications in total, highest across all the 12 editions of Emerge 50 Awards. The ratio of deep tech companies, like what Sridhar mentioned, it continues to increase. And today, there were 74% of the applications were using some kind of deep tech in terms of AI, ML, blockchain, AR, VR, IoT, and so on. And out of that, 65% of the companies are really building products for the global market. And they're not just coming from the metros, they're really coming from 15 different cities across India. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Yeah. So to narrow down to the winners, we built a holistic framework looking at 5 key parameters. One, we looked at business maturity of these companies, looked at the product maturity, what the level of innovation happening within the organizations, what are the capability of the team which has come together to build the product, and finally, it's about how large is the market opportunity. So to drive this in a very rigorous process, we defined it into 4-stage process. The first stage was really looking at the 700 applications and looked at other products have customers. Do they have real paying customers? Are these product development teams, are they based out of India? And we also want to make sure the revenue of these companies is less than 100 crores. So these are much smaller companies. And we were able to reduce the 700 to about 400. And for these 400 companies in stage 2, we looked at all of the data they have provided in the applications, drove a very strong analytical process, and then shortlisted to about 150 companies. Then stage 3, we presented this 150 companies to a set of subject matter experts and industry experts. So we want to get a sector-specific insight on each of these 10 categories to understand the nuances. And based on their inputs, we're able to get it down from 150 to about 101. So once we got to that, in the final stage, we invited about 81 jurors. And these are jurors from the industry, academia, entrepreneurs, investors, and they came together for a period of 2 whole days. And we actually ran it in 2 parallel tracks to go through 101 pitches from all of these companies. And based on that, jury found it really hard to be able to shortlist the 101 to about 50. Right? So we started from about 700, went to 400, 150, got to 101, detailed jury discussions, and then brought to select the top 50 Emerge companies. So for the next two slides, let's look at what differentiates these companies. What are some of the big trends which is coming from observing these organizations? Next slide, please. As you see shortly, the winners of 2020 edition are diverse set of high potential companies. Fact that we have this winners are coming from 12 different cities. I remember, 2 decades ago, if you look at the Indian cricket team, there will be a bunch of people from Bangalore, a few people from Delhi and Mumbai and Chennai, and just the metros, and that will be the formation of the Indian cricket team. But today, if you look at the Indian cricket team, it's with representatives from across the country. We're starting to see very similar trend play out with the startups. Not just startups are coming from the top cities, but really coming from across India. And we were able to observe 3 key data points with these winners. So first, the entrepreneurs are very confident about the insights on global markets, and they're targeting these markets from day one, right? They're not just building for India and then taking global, they're building it for the global market. And second is SaaS is the dominant delivery model used by most of the winners. And use of deep tech has increased across both products which are built for global markets as well as products which are built for India market. Next slide, please. It is evident that entrepreneurs are increasingly leveraging what we call as India's XFactors. Due to the global connectedness of India, it is today possible to understand the needs of global market from India. Our large, diverse market continues to be a test bed for rapid experimentation and scale. And entrepreneurs are moving from technology MNCs and have deep customer understanding and deep tech capabilities. Not just that, they also have a network of engineers they can go and hire who can come and work in these organizations. We also saw how the entrepreneurs were very adaptive, especially how the companies adapted to the COVID crisis and thrived and really came out of it in flying colors over the last few months. And finally, the entrepreneurs are taking advantage of the collaborative ecosystem we have in India, where there is common learning and they're able to network with other entrepreneurs and also use the ecosystem as a way to access global customers. Next slide, please. India and the Indian startup ecosystem has evolved considerably since 2009 when we started the first Emerge 50 awards. The first phase was really to come out of the shadow of the very successful technology and BPO services industry in India. The second phase is to gain global attention and investments. And we are now entering the third phase where we should be known for new global category creation and deep tech innovations from India. I'm sure many of the Emerge 50 winners will do just that and shine the lights for the ones to follow. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the show.